call or get on to SpiceFM KE. New Year resolution, it's all about the diet. But first of all, let's meet our guest.
May I quickly ask you a question?
Yeah.
Because I want her to correct you on something.
Before we get to meet her, I'm okay, ask the question.
Just now.
Yeah.
It would be very important for you to tell us why. What are you trying to achieve with this smoothie that you're taking?
Oh, me, myself?
Yes.
No, why my breakfast? No, that for me is for energy.
Okay, good.
Okay, that for me is for energy to be able to do the things that I try and do when I'm working out.
Okay.
Well, thank you. Okay, that's good. Ashley Kibuthia.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Thank you for honoring an invitation, by the way, and I hope this is the first of many of the occasions. She's also got a voice box on her. And, Ashley, karibu sana.
Asante sana.
First of all, let's start. Who's Ashley Kibuthia?
I am a registered dietitian. I have been a registered dietitian for 15 years.
Wow.
And it is absolutely my biggest passion, bringing about science-based information to help people to really empower them with the correct information so that they can make the best and healthiest choice for themselves based on what their personal goals are. So it's really to empower them because, as you mentioned, there's so much misinformation out there. So I want to bring some calm to the chaos and set the record straight.
So a lot of people out there, and sis, you can attest to this as well.
Yes.
We are nutritionists.
All of us.
But this is actually a science. You studied this.
Absolutely, yes. So as a nutritionist, it's not a standard of education. It could be a 4-year degree. It could be a 1-month online course, or it could be a self-proclaimed title.
Right.
So I don't want to say they have bad intentions, but we just need to know that it's not standardized in terms of the education.
Right.
So as a registered dietitian, you have to have a bachelor's of science degree, 4 years.
Wow.
After that, you have a year-long internship where you do inpatient, outpatient, acute care, chronic care, all age groups, food safety, food service, food service in schools, federally funded programs. So it's all of that. And then you sit a national board exam, and now you're board certified, meaning that I am now held with my license to the highest level of science-based information, and I can lose my license if I don't give proper medical advice. So it is a medical profession.
Right.
And again, so I'm board certified in the U.S., but then also Kenya as well.
Right.
And then science is always changing, so I now also have to get continuing education every year to keep my license relevant. So for nutritionists, it's kind of they pick and choose or do what they want.
Right.
So again, not saying their intentions are bad or what they're doing is bad, just simply, setting the record straight on what is the difference.
You've got to love her. She's very diplomatic. She should be working at the United Nations. So if you're proclaimed nutritionist, she's saying it's not what you're doing is bad, but just not same WhatsApp group. Very good. So it's the beginning of a new year, Ashley.
Yes.
And obviously people set goals. We want to diet. Don't we do this?
Yes.
Everyone wants to diet. Now, obviously, there are various kinds of diets.
There's 1,000,001 and a new one every day.
Right. Now, since when you talk about diets, do you diet for yourself, or you diet for the whole family? Because growing up, God bless her, dear mama, when she used to diet with all of us.
Ooh.
You see what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah, that's why some say I can't stand cabbage. Okay.
Yes,
So there were various things. You now, as a wife and a mother and a mother.
Yes.
Do you diet, all of you? I mean, you just diet for yourself?
For myself.
And so what kind of what kind of diets do you do?
Firstly, I think she might want to correct me, but the reason why I diet for myself is because we all have different activities through the day. Some of us sit for very long hours. Some of them are very active.
Yes, so that is true. So we're all going to have different calorie needs, protein needs, things like that. But at the end of the day, all of our plates need to be balanced, and we all still need to eat 3 balanced meals a day and snacks as well. And so, what I always tell people is for something to be sustainable, you're going to want to do it with the whole family. And then I say the portions should then be individualized. So again, when we talk about diets, many times it's fad diets where the mom in the house, right, right? Diets tend to follow women, is mom is not eating carbs. Mom is only having a salad.
There we go.
Mom is being restrictive. So what is that teaching our children? That women need to eat less and suffer because they need to look a certain way. So we need to empower ourselves as women and as moms to show our children and our husbands what is a healthy and positive relationship with food that nourishes our body and allows our body to function optimally so it can get to our personal goal weight and our personal weight that is healthy for us as an individual. So this whole idea about BMI, my ideal body weight, I'm 5'4", I should be 120 pounds, that's trash. Let me just call it for what it is.
Sure.
Okay? That doesn't count body composition, which is more indicative of health. So your muscle mass, it's not looking at your cholesterol levels. It's not looking at your blood sugar. It's not looking at your gut health, So just to go on the scale and say, this is my weight, this is my BMI, is also not a good way to look at things. So it's about being as healthy as you can be, putting in the right fuel, and then, you get out what you put in.
I love that.
So if you have an amazing Range Rover, are you going to put in some nasty petrol and expect it to run fabulous?
Right. Yes. I like that. So it might be 15 days too late, Ashley. So let me now try and let's be specific. Okay. So fine, it's January and it's all about fuel. Now, there's single people listening to you. And so let's be very target specific.
Great.
35-year-old single person, 35 and above. So 35 to 60. They're listening to Ashley, and she's a dietitian. She knows exactly what she's talking about. Lifestyle diseases are becoming a thing. It's January. Okay. Now, let's curate. What should we do? What is the right diet? Like I say, a lot of people are now into this smoothie thing.
Yes.
Okay. True story. I got that offline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for being honest. Most people.
You know.
You can get anything offline, even good information, right? But how do we decipher the good from the incorrect?
There we go. So we don't have, this single person clearly doesn't have a partner or dear mama in the house. Okay. Can you generally say, does it matter, for example, if I'm 4'7" and I'm built like Humpty Dumpty? 6'2", and I've got the BMI of a Maasai warrior. Can diet be generic if I want to, this diet going into, it's January.
Yeah. So I can give general nutrition advice as a whole, but you're really going to get the best information by having an individual consult.
Sure.
So I can understand you as an individual. What are we dealing with? What conditions do you have? Do you have any nutrition deficiencies? How much are you actually exercising? What type of exercise is it? Are you sleeping? What is your job like? What is your activity like? So there's so many things to consider, but in general, humans need a general basic meal plan that includes basically the same things, but we would shift then the portions, the timings of the meals, and what is at that meal based on those individual information and those goals.
Yes.
But again, in general, it's going to be the same, and we can talk about that.
Because sorry, sis.
I actually have a question based on the very first statement that you gave us. You said that we need 3 meals a day.
Yes.
Why? I thought you should only eat when you're hungry.
So that's a really good question. I'm also going to pair that up with intermittent fasting, because I think that that's also something that we talk a lot about is intermittent fasting. I can do 2 meals a day or 1 meal a day. I'm in a calorie deficit. I should be losing weight. But ask yourself, when you're in that calorie deficit, are you actually losing weight? So yes, we do need 3 meals a day. And here's why. The longer you go without eating, your body goes into survival mode. I'm going to save you a bunch of the science, but I can send studies on this. Basically, your body goes into survival mode and says, when am I going to eat next? Am I on a stranded island? I don't know. So what I need to do is I need to downregulate my thyroid, downregulate my metabolism, and conserve this energy and store it as fat. I can't allow it to be burned off because I don't know when I'm going to eat next. Okay. So now you took your body and put it in survival mode as opposed to thriving.
So because we have that belief that a lot of people is that, let me eat, I'll survive on tea, coffee, and a biscuit.
Yeah.
But then I'll have that one solid, heavy meal, majority. You know that where guys eat paka, they remove their belt.
And, and that's exactly the issue, because then they say, well, I'm having one meal a day. It doesn't matter what I have. I can have a whole kg of ugali, all the nyama choma I want, and whatever I want, because guess what? I deserve this. And by the way, put 2 beers on the side, because I'm still technically within my calorie amount for the day. So now what you did is you overloaded your system. Your blood sugar is through the roof. And now, how do I possibly nourish you? Remember, it's also about nutrition, because our body, our organ needs nutrition. How do I nourish you in one meal a day? Every time you eat a meal or a snack, that is an opportunity for me to nourish your body. So let's focus on what we're eating at those meals, and then you support your metabolism. You have better energy. You don't have brain fog. You don't have low blood sugars. You're really supporting your body to allow it to function optimally.
I like that. We're going to make intermittent fasting a topic in itself.
Okay,
that we're going to take a day.
Great.
And that day is not today.
Okay.
But today, so now clearly 1 meal a day is unhealthy.
Yes.
Now, we've said 3 meals a day.
Yes.
Ashley, you're busting so many bubbles today. Which is...
you should be happy. I'm telling you to eat more.
You know, by the way, ne? So those 3 meals, we'll assume.
Yes.
Okay, but you know what they say about assuming. Ne? Breakfast, lunch, dinner.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
Very good. Of those 3, science. I was told by... actually by the doctor.
Yes.
That... The meal that I assumed was the most important meal is dinner. And they said, no, that's not it. What should be? Tell us. As the scientist, what should be the main meal of the day?
All of them.
Come on.
Yes, they are all equally important, because again, so think about it like this. Breakfast, you're waking up, you're literally breaking that fast, you're starting your metabolism, you're setting yourself up for success for the day in terms of nutrition and energy. Again, if you skip lunch, now you just put your body into that fasted state again. Your blood sugars are low, your body's in survival mode. So it's really all of the meals are equally important. I would not advocate to skip any one of them and focus on any one of them. In fact, I would go further to add to your 3 meals 3 snacks. Wow. So to support your metabolism, to support your nutritional needs, think about all the fruits and vegetables and protein we need. You would have breakfast, then you would have snack, then you would have lunch, then you would have snack, then you would have supper, and a bedtime snack, including if you have diabetes. You will wake up with lower blood sugars in the morning, I promise you. Wow. So the deal is to eat every 2 to 4 hours, because the longer we go without eating, now we are going to binge at that next meal and overeat and overconsume. Okay?
And you know, in that, it says in that African context, you know, that one, do you eat to live or live to eat?
Yeah, there you go.
But you see, right now, when we take our direction, it's like we are living to eat.
But right? Yes.
Eat to live. This is how you eat to live. The healthiest way that you can, the most energetic, in a thriving state, and all of that. It's all about what you're eating and what's on that plate. I'm not saying eat pizza, eat Burger King, eat these things.
Yes.
It's now the devil is in the details. Great. She told me snacks and meals, but now what is at those snacks and meals? Now that is the detail we need to discuss, and that makes all the difference.
So a quick question, just between that. Is there anything like clogging your system? Because doesn't it, wouldn't I have to ask myself, how long does it take for a meal to be digested for me to have the next meal?
So again, a lot of us are trained to skip meals, and a lot of it is mental, right? So we're telling our body, I should eat or I shouldn't eat. We're not actually listening to our body because we've shut off that intrinsic ability. So it's very hard to know if your body actually needs it or not when you've been telling yourself or reading things and focusing on that piece rather than listening to your body. So many times we have to tell people to eat this way so they can get into this routine, and then their body will adjust, because so many of us, they say, I'm not hungry, because you've adapted to eating less. But it doesn't mean your body is happiest when you're eating less. Does that make sense?
No, it doesn't.
Okay.
So for example, I have my breakfast.
Yes.
And then I'm still feeling full by 1.
Okay, so here's the question. What did you eat at breakfast?
Let's say breakfast, I had boiled eggs.
How many? Be specific.
2 eggs. Okay, so 2 eggs, maybe some baked beans. And maybe a slice of toast.
Okay, and what time was that at?
That was about 8 a.m.
8 a.m., okay. And you're still full at lunch at 1?
I'm still full.
Okay, so I would look into that, and I would need to talk to you on the side about that, because that is not quote unquote a normal way for your metabolism to behave. If you're not getting hungry by lunchtime, we need to sort through that. And I would say that your body has now adapted in some way to not have you have hunger cues. And I'm wondering why you're not having hunger cues.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So that's yeah.
Okay, so let's start off, and I like this because you see, my take from there is that every meal is important.
Absolutely.
It's not that, you know what, you sacrifice breakfast for lunch and then, you know what, go hard on dinner.
Nope.
So we're all on a level playing field
Yes.
here. 3 a day, and then, you know what, snack every 2 hours.
2 to 4.
2 to 4 hours. And then you said it's all about the content.
Yes.
What it is you're consuming. Now,
Yes.
because you are very specific, I'm going to ask you an unfair question, Ashley.
Okay.
Okay. And like I said, there's we're living the single life. All right. We're 35 plus. Does gender matter?
Yes, gender does matter.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. When it comes to nutritional needs, I mean, there's hormones to consider, there's menstrual cycles to consider,
Okay,
so
very
much.
good.
Yes.
Now, okay, so talk to my brothers.
Okay.
Now we're talking to my gents. All right. So, for example, we are told. Let me talk about me. I
Yeah.
get up, and first of all, I have a glass of water. Yabo, a beer mug of water.
Yes.
Just be aware, so not half a liter. Eh? So okay, so of cold water. Then I marinate. Okay, then I go and get me coffee. All right. With that coffee, like you said, those 2 boiled eggs. Don't fry them, boil them. Because Kina Ashley have told us that if you fry them, that is a bit
It's
of a
okay
problem.
once in a while.
Okay.
It depends on the type
Okay.
of oil, because here's another thing.
The oil thing, yes.
Everything in moderation
Sharp,
and
sharp.
proper portion.
Sharp,
so
sharp.
when you restrict yourself, you're going to have cravings, and then you're going to say, screw this, and you're going to binge.
Bas.
Then you're going to have guilt, and you're going to repeat this cycle.
Indeed.
So everything in moderation. It's also about a healthy and positive relationship with all foods.
I like that. Then I do my smoothie. Remember what I said? Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
avocado, peanuts.
Banana, oatmeal, and honey, and that's the cinnamon. All right?
Okay.
So then I'm done.
'Kay.
Okay. Then it's lunchtime.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So I wait until lunchtime.
Yes.
So what time you would ask, Ashley? So
Yes.
this is
Yes,
this is
you're
8
very good.
8 a.m.
8 a.m.
Yeah? Okay. And then lunchtime that will be before I get here. Ne?
Okay.
So depending on which location I'm at.
Sure.
If I'm at a Java or whatever the other place is called, it's called what?
As cafe.
The Art Cafe.
Uh-huh.
Then of course it is a snack on something.
Okay, just be honest. What would an example be?
Okay, cake and coffee.
Okay. All right, cool. I appreciate the honesty. Good. Okay. Okay.
Otherwise, a slice of pizza. Anyway, it's junk food.
Okay.
Okay. Then nothing until I get home. And obviously, getting home means we leave here at 7, and then traffic.
Of course.
Then that's 9 in the PM.
Yep.
Coffee. Then sit down because coffee. I'm talking to people.
Yep.
Yes. Then sit down and have. Because to me that's my tea time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's coffee and donuts
Yep. Okay.
at 9 p.m. Ne? 9, ne? So you can't have dinner immediately. Okay. So I wind up eating dinner at about midnight,
Okay. And what is dinner?
or depending on what's being prepared.
Like a Kenyan meal, like ugali, skuma,
Yes,
beef.
or yes, yeah, yes, okay,
Okay.
or pasta, or rice and stew, whatever's
Okay.
being prepared,
Okay.
but proper meal.
Sure.
Yeah.
So you're eating regularly, I would say.
Yes,
So
yes.
that's good, but
Yes.
we have to work on the balance. So first of all, I want you to envision a normal size plate, not a small plate, a normal size plate.
A dinner plate.
Yes.
Yes.
Divide it in 4.
Okay.
You need a carb, like a starch, the size of your fist. Then you need protein, at least the size of a deck of cards.
For I've got a guy called Mato, so he wouldn't know what a starch is.
Okay.
What e.g. for starch?
Okay, so this would be ugali, rice,
There we go.
pasta,
Okay.
bread,
Okay.
duma,
Okay.
sweet potato, viazi,
Okay.
all those
Okay.
things,
Sure.
okay?
Sure.
So a fist of starch.
Right.
Then you need 100 grams of protein if it's animal-based, or about a cup or a fist of like beans or lentils,
Bas,
okay?
bas.
And then you need a fourth of your plate to be a vegetable,
Bas.
and a fourth of your plate to be the food.
Right.
That is balance.
Right.
So now you are going to be more satisfied and nourished from that, because the protein is keeping you fuller for longer. The protein is also stabilizing your blood sugar from having the starch.
Right.
And there is fiber in the fruits and the vegetables,
Right.
helping with your gut health as well. And then all of your antioxidants, vitamins, and minerals.
Right.
So you see, now that meal is having all those food groups. So for instance, your smoothie is having healthy fats.
Yes.
It's having a fruit, but there's no vegetable, there is a grain, and you're very low on protein.
Yes.
So what I would do to change that is I would say, great, you have your oats in there.
Right.
You can put your avocado, but only a third of an avocado.
Wow, okay.
And only a half a cup of oats. And then 1 banana, great.
Okay.
And then I would put some spinach in there, and you definitely need a protein powder in there, or Greek yogurt, and proper Greek yogurt.
Okay. So 2 questions there. When you say that proper Greek yogurt, obviously that's a red flag for me. Are you saying that if I go to the supermarket, which they will remain nameless, and I open the fridge, that says Greek yogurt, is it proper?
Not always.
Unona.
Unfortunately,
See,
marketing can be very misleading.
These are things that are important.
Yes, it's very important. So there is legit Greek yogurts in Kenya, but just because it says that,
Right.
be careful. The devil's in the details.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you the very
What are the
difficult.
details?
Yes, that's a difficult question now, actually. Because now you're in the spot. How do I tell?
Is it Greek yogurt, or is it Greek style, or is it thick and creamy?
Okay.
It has to be, because that Greek yogurt is what gives it double the protein.
Yeah. Oh.
So regular yogurt has about 5 to 7 grams of protein per about 240 ml. Greek yogurt will have 15 to 20 per the same serving.
Wow.
And just to put this again in perspective, per meal, we need 20 to 30 grams of protein. Again, this is in general. So in your smoothie, you're getting 5 grams of protein.
I was about to use a cuss word. That's not enough.
Yeah. So you see, the devil's in the details. So you have a really good idea, right? But now we need to look at what is the composition of that smoothie.
Okay. Now, okay then, Ashley. Design for, like I said, I'm talking on behalf of the dudes.
Okay.
All right. So design for us a brekkie plate.
Okay. Cool. So, the smoothie would be fine, as we talked about.
Yeah.
So, no, that's quick and easy. But for breakfast, what I would like you to have is, we're talking males here. So 3 eggs. I would like you to have 3 eggs, 3 whole eggs, 2 slices of brown toast, and it's like some kachumbari, and then like a fist size of cut up mango. That's your breakfast.
Oh, good one.
Yeah.
Now,
Just a quick one. Sorry. Before we move away from breakfast, is it true that water should be the first
thing to have?
Yes.
So water's great for you, but it's not like have it first or else, or here's a side effect if you don't. If you're thirsty, drink. Absolutely. And water is extremely important, but it's not this idea of have it by your bedside, take a liter before you do anything else. No.
Does it matter if it's hot or cold?
No.
Let's say it helps to open up the stomach. and
No.
digest.
No,
Okay.
there's a lot of that kind of stuff out there. It doesn't matter. And my number one goal is hydrate, get enough water. I don't care if it's sparkling. I don't care if it's still. I don't care if it's hot. I don't care if it's cold.
Ashley, thanks for that one. So you've done the breakfast plate, but then so Greek yogurt would be nice. When you say toast, we talk about slice of bread or must be toasted?
Either one. Sorry. Great question. Either one.
Sharp.
And we put actual butter or peanut butter, not Blue Band. Sorry, I wasn't supposed to say brands.
Oh,
Oops.
That's okay.
Margarine.
Margarine.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
Does
It's
it
okay.
matter whether it's the brown bread?
Yes, brown bread. So you have to make sure the first ingredient says whole wheat or whole meal. Because if it's just brown, it doesn't necessarily mean it's whole grain.
Okay.
Tricky.
Yeah, okay.
And then diet and food and time. Because we're talking about breakfast.
Yes.
Does it matter if it's at 5:59 or 11:59?
So it does. So you should have breakfast within the first hour of waking up, because remember, when you eat is when you are starting your metabolism. So you want to do it, you're breaking that fast as soon as possible.
I like that.
Yeah. And then also you're energized to perform better at the gym.
Right.
So you should always eat before going to the gym and for your work day as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so there's this idea here, especially with intermittent fasting, don't eat before the gym because now it's going to cause my body to burn fat. Awesome, this is what I want. That's not how the biology and chemistry works. So first of all, we burn the food that we eat for energy. Next, we burn our glycogen stores, which are in our liver. Next, we go to our muscle and burn that. And then we go to burn our fat because it takes a long time for those fat cells to be mobilized to actually burn them and utilize them as energy. So many times when you're in the gym fasted, you are breaking down and burning muscle for energy when I believe the opposite is what you want to happen. You want to build muscle. So again, support your body through nutrition to achieve the goals that you're looking for.
Ashley, brilliant. And it's coming so fast. So listen, so you've designed this plate for, and we've pictured a 35-plus-year-old guy.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's the brekkie plate. How different is it different for the woman, for the female?
So for the female, we don't necessarily need as much protein. Protein is still just as important, but again, it depends on body structure, body composition. Men tend to have a higher muscle mass than women. It also depends on activity. So that's really, it's going to be very similar.
Sure.
I would say it would be very similar. Yeah.
Okay, so describe that plate one more time so that we can...
Yes. So everybody,
yes.
So everybody visualize your normal size dinner plate, not the small one, normal size. Okay. You should not be hungry. Okay. So you split it in 4. You have a fist size of starch, which is our carbs, which we talked about. Then you have your protein, which is about 100 grams if it's meat, or about a fist or fist and a half if it's plant-based. And then you have as much veg as you want, and then a fist of fruit.
Okay.
Okay. How about cereals?
Like lentils, beans, things like that.
No, she's talking about
breakfast cereals.
Cornflakes.
So,
that's a good one, by the way.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, they are simple carbs, meaning that you're just getting energy from them and a blood sugar spike, and you're not getting any real nutrition. So we call that would be more of your processed food. So even for kids, a better alternative would be like granola with Greek yogurt or oatmeal if you can. And then there's different recipes you can do to sweeten it up naturally with fruit and things like that to make it more nourishing. But also, if you're just having cereal and milk, you're not meeting your protein goals. You're not getting fiber. You're not getting your fruit. You're not getting your vegetable. So you're going to be hungry in like an hour.
So you see now, after she made that margarine debacle, she's being very careful now.
Yes.
So, but basically, long story short, cereals are useless.
Everything in moderation and proper portion. Okay, so here's the thing. Once in a while, okay, right? So I'm in the supermarket and my kids are with me, and they're like,
wait, there's something she said. They will make you hungry faster.
Yes, so that's the thing. Okay. Yeah, because again, you're not getting the fiber and you're not getting the protein, and that's what keeps you fuller for longer.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So that's very important. So if you were to ask me, Ashley, design for me the most nutritious breakfast, cold cereals would not be in the picture.
Okay,
is there any, is there any particular food that can make your brain
come closer to that, Mike?
Carbs will make your brain sharp in the morning.
I like that.
Do you know carbs are your brain's number one source of fuel?
Ashley, what is a carb?
Carb, sorry.
Give me one. Say like...
A starch, so sweet potato, fruit.
There you go.
Okay, bread. So carbs like that are your brain's number one source of fuel. Okay, your brain needs at least 130 grams of carbs per day, not the serving size, the actual grams of carbs in that particular food. For example, a slice of bread has 15 grams of carbs. Wow. Okay, so you need 130 for your entire day for your brain to function optimally. Can your brain and body get energy from other sources? It can, but that is when it's adapted. Why are we forcing our body to go into this adaptive state? Give it what it wants to function effectively, optimally. Don't make it harder for your body. It's more efficient for your body to get energy from carbs than it is from protein. Okay, because of all the processes it has to go through.
All right, now
work with your body, not against it.
I like that. So, sis, you've got teenagers, ne?
Yes.
So, tell me. So, design a plate now for a breakfast plate. For the kids.
Yep.
And for the teenies.
Sure. Okay. So let's see here. Tell me what they would like to have. What do they typically have in your house? And I'll correct it, basically.
Eggs.
As
usual, bread. Because I consider... I give them this because they're more playful in the play. So a fruit, and the baked beans is big for us.
Yeah. So you're doing great. So that's awesome.
Okay.
I would just add a fruit to that because again,
do people fart a lot in your house?
No.
Okay.
No, the baked beans are not like the other beans though.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So and that would be fiber. And by the way, passing gas is very normal. It's a sign of good gut health. But everything 15 to 20 times a day is
in
what's
moderation.
recommended. Yes. So again, I would ask your kids, like what do they want? Is it pancakes? Okay, great. I'm going to make you pancakes, but I'm going to choose a better flour. I'm going to do half white unga, half brown unga. Oh. You see, it's not perfect, but it's better. We're not trying to be perfect here. We're trying to be better than what we do in our homes. And this is going to be different for everybody, okay? But just doing the pancake and tea, like I see so many people do, where's your protein? Where's your fruit? It's not there. So make it balanced, yeah?
Okay.
And then I hear, but my kid loves sausage. Great, but your kid doesn't have to have sausage every day. And when they have sausage, one is fine. Give them other protein. And by the way, processed meat is not going to be a good source of protein.
True.
Right? So again, but we can't fully restrict, right? Again, everything in moderation and proper portion. So if it's a Saturday morning, have your toast, have your eggs, get one sausage as a bonus because it sounds good, you enjoy it, fabulous. Have your fruit, and then have your veg. You see?
Right.
Yeah. So again, what else is there? Again, it's all about that balanced plate. That's the biggest takeaway.
You've got to love it, man. Ashley Kibuda is here, and she's demystifying and breaking it down for us. Ne? So we're at Brekkie.
Yes.
And she's designed a plate for the kids, for mom and dad, and for the boys and girls, single men, single gents.
Yeah.
We're single ladies. Absolutely good to go. But then she says, and you've got to have this... within 1 hour of you eyes wide shut. Yabo?
Yes.
Then she says you need to be snacking.
Yes.
What are we snacking on, Ashley?
Great question. So this is going to be a starch or a carb.
Okay. No. First of all, because and
a protein.
What do you snack on? And be honest.
I don't snack at all. I try to, but if I have
What's
to,
wrong with you?
wait. If I have to, I have groundnuts and black coffee.
Okay.
If I must.
Okay. So I'm on njugu nuts as well, but I love me crisps. I love me crisps, and obviously we're not mentioning brands, but man, that chocolate, and it says and it's got nuts in it, and there are oats in it as well.
Yes.
So like we're saying, food groups.
Yes. So food groups. So think of where your carb. Choose a complex carb, which is going to be a fruit or a whole grain, or even a Greek yogurt, and then always have a protein. So some examples would be a banana and your jugu nuts. Perfect. You could do a Greek yogurt and whatever fruit you have.
Yes.
If you like berries, awesome. If mango's more affordable, awesome. If pineapple's in season, great. But again, it's that portion. It is a snack. It is not a meal. Yes. And that's what's going to sustain you through the day. You will see your energy levels be consistent. So many people I work with, they have no energy. Why? They're restricting on the carbs. They're eating 1 to 2 meals a day. They're going long periods without eating. Of course, you're not going to have energy. And also, you're probably deficient in nutrients because you're not eating appropriately.
Okay, so let's talk about mandazi and samosa. That's what many people in the office are snacking.
Samosas, yes.
Samosas.
Yes.
They're good. Tamu sana.
Is that so?
Lakini mafuta mingi sana. So once in a while, again, it shouldn't be a daily thing. Okay. So you brought up this air fryer we were talking about earlier.
Yes.
So okay, put your samosa in the air fryer as opposed to deep frying it. So better.
Yes.
Am I saying a samosa is a healthy snack? I'm not. But what is better? Okay. Again, maybe you're having it every 5 days a week, right? Well, let's try to pull back and do it twice a week. You see, it's these small sustainable changes that we make that are individualized to our health so that we can get more nourished and healthier and achieve those goals we're looking for. It's not these, quick cold turkey.
Yeah,
that's a disaster.
Yeah. You know, sis, from what Ashley's saying, forget the, if you think about it, if you just, if you shut out the sanitary element.
Yes.
But then that means you can get a lot of our snacks on from the hawkers on the street.
Yes,
you think these
bananas,
guys, yeah,
peanuts.
Yes, and fruit salad,
Yes.
and then there's peanuts.
So there's no excuse that it's expensive.
Yes, yes,
No.
yes,
And in
yes.
fact, this is why one of the biggest reasons I love Kenya. Fresh food is cheaper than processed.
Yes, yeah.
So take advantage of this.
I like that.
We have the best environment to make that happen. You don't need to get imported things. You don't need to do all this. You can eat the local foods in proper portion and balance and be healthy.
I love that. I love that. Now, then we jump on to now lunchtime. Should lunch ideally be, because obviously, there's somebody who's going to wake up. They're doing a night shift. They're going to wake up at, at 10. Have that breakfast by 11. Should lunch be then ideally at the halfway point between breakfast and din-dins?
Yes, that's where it should be. So again, that person would then have a different schedule. So we would have to work with that because they'd also be up later, right?
Yes.
But yeah, so breakfast is at 8, lunch about 1.
Yeah.
One between 1 and 2, right?
Yes.
So then again, it's going to be the starch, it's going to be the protein, it's going to be the fruit, the veg. So let me give an example.
Right.
It's going to be a fist of rice.
Yeah.
It's going to be a fist or two of beans.
Right.
It's going to be as much cabbage as you want, and then take some watermelon on your way as you're going back to the office. Very affordable.
That's very true.
Very locally available.
That's true.
Right?
That's true.
Very balanced.
That's true. And
Is it advisable to count the hours between meals?
Not necessarily. We like to give general recommendations, every 2 to 4 hours you should be eating something. So just to kind of give an ideal schedule would be breakfast 7 or 8, a snack, tea time, right, is 10, yeah, and then a lunch 1 to 2, and then tea time again with snack 4 to 5, dinner about 7 to 8, and then a bedtime snack if you want, depending on when you go to bed.
Okay.
And you were told not to. Nutritionists would tell us. You see what I'm doing there? That don't eat before bed.
True. Yeah, guys, that one, bothers me so bad. There is so much research to say that a bedtime snack, of course, what it's composed of matters, actually causes you to sleep better. If you are working out, your muscles now have extra nutrients at night to recover and build. If you have diabetes, you are going to wake up with lower blood sugars, because if you go long periods of time, let's say supper's at 6 and you don't eat breakfast the next day till 9, now your liver has to break down those glycogen stores and putting out pure glucose, blood sugar spike. This way, you stop that process by having a bedtime snack, because you've also had carb and protein together. If your liver does it on its own, it's just pure glucose.
Oh man. Okay. Now, she just made me think of something. Now, Ashley, here you are. Obviously, you're talking to the two of us. Yeah. 51-year-old man. Okay. And there she is. She's a mother and a wife. And these people are in-house. Okay. Me, it's just me and madam. Now, what about this? There's somebody who's listening to you, and they live a sedentary lifestyle. 1, and then 2, there's somebody who, with every meal, there must be a bottle of some. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
You know?
I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. Yes.
Does this same diet apply? For one, this person who's very sedentary lifestyle, it is eat. If they're walking, it's from if they're in an office, the office chair to the car, from the car to the house. Does it?
Yes. So if you're sedentary, you still need nutrition.
Yeah.
So you still need to eat your 3 meals a day. So this is what I hear, but I'm not as active, so I don't need to eat that. Remember, it's not just about calories. It's about the nutrition there to support your health, your body, your organs, all of these things. So yes, you still need to eat. But now I need to talk to you about a sedentary lifestyle, because that's not healthy. You're not going to feel well. Your muscles aren't doing well. It's not good for your mental health. There's a million and one reasons. But does that person, need less than somebody who's working out? Absolutely. But that doesn't mean they skip meals or don't have snacks or things like that. They would just have smaller portions at their meal. They would have less carbs, but I would still want them to meet their protein goals.
And so what about the drinkers?
Yeah, so we're getting a lot of extra calories from beverages. It adds up. Let me tell you, a regular beer is going to be like 150 calories at least. 1 tot of hard alcohol is 100 to 150 calories. So if you say make it a triple, all right, there you go. That's like 500, 600 calories right there. Yeah. So, and then what are you mixing it with? So those are a lot of calories that we're getting in our body that we need to be mindful of. So if you're trying to lose weight, work on that as well. But it doesn't mean then, okay, I'm going to skip dinner and drink my calories when I'm out with my buddies. It doesn't work like that.
Sounds
You
like a
still
plan.
need your nutrition.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And then, we're still worried about blood sugar, because if you drink on low blood sugars, there's going to be concerns with that, even if you're not a diabetic, right? These are still important things for everybody. So, yes, you still need to have your 3 meals a day. You still need to nourish your body.
Okay, so we've done the lunch. Now, obviously, lunch is we've clarified it's the halfway point between brekkie and dinner. And remember, we're snacking every 2 hours. I love this.
Or every 2 to 4.
2 to 4 hours.
What depends on your schedule, how it's working, how you're feeling, etc., etc. Yeah.
Yes.
So then, tea time, right? So Kenyans are very regular with their tea.
Yes.
10 a.m. tea,
Yes.
4 p.m. tea.
There
Am
we
I
go.
correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So when you have your tea,
Yeah.
have a snack with it.
Right.
Just kidogo.
And just as a reminder, Ashley, what snacks do you recommend? I mean, we've said the fruit salad and the jugo nuts. But in an office setting, would that be easier? In an office? No.
So what? Okay. So this is where you have to plan ahead now, right?
Yeah.
You have to take some personal responsibility, and you can't expect your office to do this. If you want to get your office to get engaged in this wellness, that is awesome. And that's going to create a healthy environment for you, and you're going to do it together. But you can't rely on other people. You have to take personal responsibility. So this is you bringing a banana to work.
Yes.
This is you bringing a fruit salad to work.
Yes.
This is you having nuts in your office.
Right.
This is you having seeds.
Right.
This is you, if you can bring a cooler box or go to the supermarket during break and get a yogurt, okay? So it doesn't have to be these crazy snacks, literally a fruit and a nut, yeah?
So
a fist of a fruit and then a handful of nuts.
Yes.
That's it.
So let's be clear. China mandazi. Saa 4 na saa 10. Wacha. Every day. Sis, are we together?
She said 3 times a week. It's okay.
So based on what is this person doing? If you're doing it every day, 7 days a week, all right, let's start doing it 4 days a week. You see, we have to do small, sustainable changes. I cannot say that enough because so many times what happens is in New Year's, people are like, all right, I'm just going to feast, live it up, go crazy, Jan 1, Jan 2, nothing. And I'm just going to eat leaves and everything's going to quit. Yeah? How sustainable is that? And it sounds miserable. And I need to say this. Remember, whatever you do to get healthy, whatever you do to lose weight, you must be able to maintain or you will gain it back. So think before you choose the route you're going to take.
I love that. Okay, so now all meals are important, and it must be 3 square meals. So dinner time.
Yeah. So let's just use the Kenyan context. So we know it's not a day without ugali.
Ugali, chapati, rice.
So let's do ugali. Let's do a fist of ugali. And when I say ugali, I want the ushago ugali. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Where you take the whole corn to the poach mill and they grind it because now you have the whole corn. Now you're getting the fiber. Yeah?
So it's not the processed stuff.
Exactly. You'll see that a lot. We want the whole food as much as possible. So your fist of ugali.
Yes.
Then we want your 100 grams of your beef. Yeah. As much stew as you want because it's vegetable. And then your skuma, your greens, whatever that is, as much as you want. And then again, your little dessert of fruit, whether it's mango, pineapple, watermelon, whatever it is. But again, a fist of that. And you eat slowly. I need to say this as well. Did you know it takes 20 to 30 minutes for your stomach to send a signal to your brain and say you're full? Most of us eat in 7 to 10 minutes. Yes.
Yeah.
So if I took a CT scan of your stomach after you ate a meal in 10 minutes, it would be physically full. But you would say, I still feel hungry because that signal has not yet been sent. So do you know, you eat and you're like, you have more, and then 10 minutes later, you're like, oh my God, I shouldn't have had that? Yes.
I like that. Repeat that one more time. It takes 20 to... What?
Yes, it takes 20 to 30 minutes for your stomach to send a signal to your brain to say it's full.
Hold on. You've said a lot of profound things today, but just... that's a round of applause.
So this is
science.
This is what I mean. So get empowered with the correct science-based information so you know what's actually going to work. Work with your body, not against it. Get out of survival mode. Just because your body is able to handle it doesn't mean it's happy and thriving. Yeah? So weight loss should be a side effect of healthy habits.
Okay. And then obviously, there's there are a lot of new age people. Okay. And also culturally, the others who, meat is not a thing. I don't know. You talk about vegans because them I just do not understand. But let's talk about people who are there's
plant-based.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So we want more plant-based protein. So awesome. As a dietitian, I'm all about more plants, the better. The more fruits, the vegetables, the plants, awesome. We know so much research supports that, cholesterol levels, longevity, et cetera, et cetera. But just because you're eating something plant-based, if it is processed, it is not healthier. So if you're going to have all these processed sausages, but they're vegan and you think you're doing yourself a favor, you're not. Okay? So it is always about whole food. And you do have to be mindful. Plant proteins are awesome, but they don't have the protein density that animal-based protein has. So you have to be mindful. Are you getting enough protein? So what I tell people that if you're vegan or vegetarian and choosing more plant-based, awesome. That's great. But now make sure to get 2 to 3 protein sources at that meal, as opposed to one protein source of somebody who's eating meat, for example. Yeah. So like, for instance, we know that many Indians, right, are plant-based. And I love what they do. They do it very well because they'll have dal with their rice and their vegetables, and then they'll add yogurt to it. So that's a great example because now they've done 2 protein sources and it's plant-based, so they're getting all of their nourishment. So I love using that example.
Is there any disadvantage to eating too much animal protein?
So again, what it comes to with that is portions are everything, right? So 100 to 150 grams of meat is a serving size, right? But now I'm going to say, what is the cut of meat? Is it very fatty? And also, how are you cooking it? Yeah? And is it chicken, fish, mbuzi, ngombe? What is it?
Okay. So it is beef, and then not everyone can afford a steak at all times. So,
of course.
So it's meat on bone.
Yep.
So that comes with the mafuta.
Yes.
And obviously the bone. So,
yes. So if you're
how should I cook that?
Yeah. So if you're going to the local butcher, just be like, hey, can I have this slice here? I don't want all that mafuta. Or if you get home, cut off that extra mafuta and bake it, grill it. Don't add more mafuta when you cook it. Yes. So when you have chicken, take off the skin. Because here's the difference too. Fat is healthy, but it matters the type of fat. The fat that's in meat, on the chicken skin, etc., is saturated fat. That is the fat that increases our cholesterol levels.
So
can I drop a bomb?
Please. Because there have been a few atomic. Now this one sounds going to be nuclear.
Coconut, and I will say this, coconut oil is not healthy. Stop it. Take it from your kitchen, put it in your bathroom, put it on your skin, put it in your hair.
Yeah, because there's been a lot of chatter online that coconut oil, have you seen that? Yes.
It is saturated fat. It is pure saturated fat. Yeah. Do you know in 1 tablespoon, you see this, 1 tablespoon of coconut oil, that is your entire daily allowance of saturated fat. Wow. Yeah, please. Again, solid at room temperature is saturated fat. So look at your oils. What is solid at room temperature?
So even the ghees of this world.
Yes.
Oh, even ghee
yes.
is unhealthy?
It's saturated fat. So you can have, listen, we can have saturated fat, everything in moderation, but we need to be mindful. So no more than 12 to 15 grams of saturated fat per day. And then the rest of our fat should come from healthy sources. Avocado, canola oil. We have a great local canola oil here in Kenya. That's fabulous. Omega-3s, by the way. I'm sure we've heard canola oil is bad for us.
No. Yeah, by the way. Because
it's not.
It's not.
It's one of the best and most affordable oils in Kenya.
Yeah.
Yes. Go look at the supermarket.
What about butter?
Butter. So that's solid at room temperature. But if you ask me, what do I have on my toast every morning? I'm definitely having real butter on my toast. But then I watch the rest of my saturated fat the rest of my day. You see,
so ideally, butter is not the best thing to even apply on your bed.
So are you going to put olive oil or avocado on your bread? You know, so what are you going to do, right? So think about what do you enjoy and then think about the rest of your day. Yeah. Like, for instance, I also still will have a chicken drummy. Yeah. Once in a while because I like that. But it's not every day. With the skin. Yes. But it's not every day. So everything in moderation. And then what else did I have that day? You know, I watched the rest of my saturated fat throughout the day. You see.
Imagine we've been speaking for an hour. Hey, listen, that's why she's here, and that's why we're intrigued, and we could talk forever. She is, and we said we've demystified it. That's how we started off.
Too many myths.
Yes, there's a difference between a nutritionist,
And a dietitian.
and a dietitian. Oh man, she did 5 years in school, man. I couldn't have karatas. And yearly, she's doing things to keep up to speed. We've got to keep up to speed, and because speed is not on our side, by the way. And next Wednesday, I think, what do you want our resident dietitian, Ashley Kibuda, to talk to you about next Wednesday? Now we've told you how you should hit the ground running. I mean, for lack of a better turn of phrase, because it's 15th. But it starts tomorrow.
It starts
Actually,
tomorrow.
it starts tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've
What are you
learned.
talking? Yes.
Yeah.
It
Start
starts
with
tonight.
supper.
Ashley, we're going to go get into news. If one wants to follow you, what are your handles there very quickly?
It's .time as in the herb, THYME, pun intended.
Yes.
So it's .time, THYME _, or just look up Ashley Kibuda and you'll find me.
We love you. Thank you for coming through. We'll
Thank you
see
so
you
much.
next Wednesday. Oh, and that's that.
Sugar and spice and everything nice. Oh yeah, Spice FM.
Spice up your life.